Screw you, Colbert! You know what? You got what you deserve. Give me those bananas.
The hole's here. You can't ignore it. The only choice you have now is how you choose to walk through it.
On May 21st, 2026, an amazing 11-year run on CBS came to a close, officially ending a huge era for broadcast media. And honestly, as with everything Colbert does, this wasn't just a simple wave goodbye. It was this beautifully intricate, hilarious, and at times completely bizarre spectacle.
The Dolphins know I got canceled? Wait, is that true, Dolphins?
During his cold open, he delivered this specific quote to the audience at the Ed Sullivan Theater, explaining his philosophy for creating a grueling daily broadcast. And this really sets up the whole hero's farewell narrative of the episode. He acknowledged that, hey, making a daily show is a relentless machine. But by consciously choosing joy, you protect yourself from the grind.
This isn't goodbye, it's see you later. Yes.
That philosophy, choosing joy, is exactly what fueled the chaotic, celebratory tone of the entire final episode.
During his monologue, Colbert actually reminded everyone that technically, his first show wasn't in the iconic Ed Sullivan Theater. No, back in July of 2015, he broadcast on a public access station in Monroe, Michigan, to an audience of exactly 12 people. He even joked that given the current state of show business, that's probably exactly where he's heading next. But then,
technically, our first show back in July of 2015 was from a public access station in Monroe, Michigan, for an audience of 12 people.
And by September 2015, he took over that legendary desk from David Letterman, kicking off an incredible 11-year run that brought us right to May 21st, 2026.
So Colbert attempts to do a totally standard, normal episode, telling the audience that relying on surprise celebrity cameos is just a cheap stunt.
Hey, listen, Paul Rudd. Yeah.
Almost instantly, his monologue was hijacked by an absolute avalanche of A-list stars, all furiously fighting to be his prestigious final guest. You had Bryan Cranston storming off when he found out he wasn't the last guest, threatening to sell his ticket. Tim Meadows tried to play the nostalgia card, bringing up their old days at Second City. Tig Notaro deadpanned that she only bothers attending historic events like the moon landing. Ryan Reynolds randomly showed up trying to force an interview. Andy Cohen crashed the stage, and Elijah Wood popped in for a quick Lord of the Rings gag.
You know what? You can keep your stupid hat. I'm gonna go sell my ticket.
But I've got to say, the absolute peak of this barrage came from Paul Rudd. Rudd interrupts the monologue to read this extremely long poem, and when he gets inevitably rejected as the final guest, he awkwardly offers Colbert a retirement gift. Instead of a gold watch or something normal, he hands over 5 bananas. Why 5? Well, because the traditional retirement gift is 6 bananas, but he got hungry waiting backstage.
I got hungry. Now interview me.
You know, the show had to address the elephant in the room, its own abrupt cancellation. But instead of just talking about network executives, they processed the end through this ridiculous sci-fi lens. In a backstage sketch, Tyson informs Colbert that the sudden cancellation was so massive, it actually created a literal wormhole, a rift in the comedy variety talk continuum. Tyson warned that if this rift kept growing, all of late-night television could be completely destroyed.
Cancellation has created a rift in the comedy variety talk continuum. And it
was a hilarious, high-concept way to visualize the end of an era.
And who better to offer some guidance on facing a world-ending vortex than Jon Stewart? Stewart pops up to deliver a perfectly crafted corporate PR statement on behalf of CBS's parent company, Paramount. He deadpans that the network strongly believes in covering the positive aspects of the insatiable emptiness. But right underneath that sharp corporate satire, Stewart offered some very genuine advice for dealing with the dark reality of a cancellation. You stare the darkness down and you laugh.
Do you think you might be in a little bit of denial?
And the best part is, Colbert wasn't facing this vortex alone. In a really beautiful show of genuine solidarity, his fellow late-night hosts, Jimmy Kimmel, Seth Meyers, John Oliver, and Jimmy Fallon, famously known as the Strike Force 5, all reunited to say goodbye. They hilariously leaned into the meta humor too. Kimmel joked that a similar interdimensional hole had actually opened up at his show last year, which was a clever wink to when Jimmy Kimmel Live was temporarily pulled from the air during a dispute between Disney and ABC.
Actually, one of these holes opened at my show last year,
but it went away after about 3 days.
Is that what's going to happen to
Let's take a step back and look at the real-world reasons behind CBS ending this 11-year run. Out there, you basically have two prevailing theories, which are fiercely debated by fans and industry analysts: the financial angle and the political angle.
First up, the financial angle. CBS and its parent company maintained that ending the show was purely a business decision. This theory points straight to an $8 billion merger between Paramount and Skydance Media, which had just been approved by the FCC. When you're dealing with an $8 billion corporate consolidation, massive budget cuts are pretty much standard operating procedure, and high-budget late-night shows are incredibly expensive to produce. So, from a strict boardroom perspective, this is viewed as a straightforward casualty of corporate restructuring.
However, on the flip side, fans and critics point to a much smaller number: $16 million. This is the political angle. The timing of the cancellation came just days after CBS reportedly reached a $16 million settlement with the White House over a 60 Minutes interview featuring Vice President and presidential candidate Kamala Harris. Combined with the fact that Colbert has been a highly vocal, consistent critic of Donald Trump for years, a lot of viewers theorized the network was bowing to political pressure rather than just tightening their belts. Colbert even cheekily poked fun at this during the finale. He made his band play copyrighted music from A Charlie Brown Christmas, joking that he really hoped it wouldn't cost CBS any more money in fines.
Is that what they're doing? Yeah. Oh no, I hope this doesn't cost CBS any money.
So the running joke of the night was that Colbert's ultimate historic last guest was supposed to be Pope Leo, but disaster struck. In this wildly absurd bit, the Pope apparently refused to come out because the Late Show team put the wrong snacks in his green room. So Colbert is left scrambling for a replacement. And who do you get when the Pope bails over trail mix? You get music legend Paul McCartney, who just magically happened to be standing by. But McCartney didn't just show up to perform. He brought an incredible gift. He presented Colbert with a sign that literally read, "To Stephen, you're better than the Beatles." Coming directly from Paul McCartney, the emotional weight of that compliment, even delivered as a joke, is just staggering. It was a deeply touching, quiet moment for a host who has idolized musicians his entire life.
Well, to Stephen, you're better than the Beatles.
The episode then closed the whole shebang out with a massive, star-studded performance of the Beatles classic Hello, Goodbye, featuring Paul McCartney, Elvis Costello, and Colbert's longtime bandleader Jon Batiste. It was this epic, joyful sign-off that perfectly encapsulated the entire 11-year run. And, just to make absolutely sure there wasn't a dry eye left in the house, Colbert's beloved dog Benny made the final adorable cameo of the night to officially shut everything down.
So, as the lights go out on the Ed Sullivan Theater for this era, we're left with a pretty lingering question. With changing viewing habits, multi-billion-dollar corporate mergers, and the total high-wire act of navigating a polarized political landscape, what does the end of Stephen Colbert's joy machine actually mean for the future of late-night television? Are we seeing the end of the traditional, monolithic late-night host? It's definitely a fascinating question to ponder as we officially close the book on this incredible run. Thanks so much for exploring this finale with us today.